It all started when the Ottomans smashed the walls of Constantinople and captured the city. That was the final push for the Ottoman Empire to take control over the Mediterranean seas. They swiftly established an unstoppable navy and took over all trading routes. The Europeans had to find new paths to trade unions, and so the navigation age started. Navigation age in Portugal. The Portuguese were very poor, and their downfall was going to be quicker if they didn't do anything about the Ottomans. The Portuguese couldn't confront them, so they navigated into different routes with help of Henry the Navigator. He was a man who was interested in all kinds of things, such as astronomy, navigation, and technology, and founded lots of colleges. He also founded navigation utensils and trips. With his help, Portugal became extremely advanced in navigation technology. Their plan consisted in going to West Africa and getting wealth, which was mostly salt, gold, slaves, and food, that fueled the current economy back. The man who inspired Prince Henry and the Portuguese was Mansa Musa, Emperor of the Mali Empire during 14th century, and the richest man ever lived, with 12,000 slaves and 60,000 acquaintances. His current money would be equivalent to $800 billion. The Portuguese took an opportunity to export slaves to Europe and sell them for shiny golden coins, so they did, by going to the African coast. They also established stone fortresses in the African coast called Pedros to keep trading to the rich African people. They kept going throughout seas till they got to the Indian Sea and they found Muslims. They showed a potential threat, therefore they killed Muslims. With that victory they headed Southeast Asia, China, where they found unexpected loot, which made them even richer, that involving cotton, porcelain, tea, and species. With that loot, they could sell tea at an extreme price to the breeds and species. Species were excellent preservants and had excellent taste. The Portuguese was a trading empire at first. That means that it had small and agile ships known as carnivals, patrolling ports and collecting fees. Wealth was extracted from controlling shipping and trading routes, as the Ottomans were occupied in the eastern Mediterranean. In contrast, the Spanish Empire, which started in 1492 with exploratory voyages of genius ship Capitan Columbus, was based on colonies. The Spanish were a colony empire. This means that rather than controlling the trading routes, they would take the land itself and the people who lived there, and extract the wealth from them to enrich the empire. Columbus was a student of geography and maps and had lobbied the Portuguese king to back his voyages, but he never accepted, so he headed for Spain to petition its devotee Catholic rulers to Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Aragon. At that moment, the Spanish Empire were still in the so-called Reconquista, meaning that they were still expelling the Muslims from 711 or changing their religion to Christianity. But that wasn't easy. They needed money, so they found the Columbus voyage. Columbus' ship made it to the Caribbean islands. Columbus and his crew found signs of gold but not great quantities of it. However, they did find people to enslave, and because nobody knew how big the Americans were, they were always hoping to find gold. For European explorers, the land were new and potentially lucrative that Spain adopted and Portugal started using in Brazil was called colonization, was built in the idea that colonies existed for the benefit and enrichment of the colonies.
and secondarily to convert human souls to Christianity. Much of the wealth that was generated by these empires was done so by claiming humans as form of property, both through the slave trade and through forcing colonized people to war, and the systems that were built to support the colonies, from roads and bridges to churches, were built to extract wealth and convert people to Christianity. In the indigenous eyes, it always meant impoverishment in many forms, the loss of life itself at an unprecedented scale, the loss of long held religious beliefs, and the loss of all sorts of community assets. In conclusion, the Iberian Peninsula had to change its navigation systems to be able to stay relevant in Europe, even if it meant a risk, because of the Ottomans. This proves one against that innovation is what makes some countries outstand from other countries. And thanks for listening.